Hello, everyone. Welcome to the FreshIgnite Talk Tips podcast. So today we're having an interview with Celia Woody. Welcome, Celia. Today we're gonna have a ball in here. So today we're talking to Celia about being an overcomer and achieving goals and aspirations through life. She has accomplished so many goals in life. I'm super proud of her. And aspirations. And she has so many stories, but there is one story that really touches as many as her other stories do. But this is one story that she's going to talk about today. And just to give inspiration and motivation to others that it is possible to do anything that you need to do in life. Okay? So, Celia Woody, hey, girl. So tell me, welcome to the show. Welcome to the podcast.
Much for having me.
You're
excited.
welcome. Thank you for coming.
Baby.
I know. Let's go. Yes, let's ignite something in somebody today.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
So tell me, who's Celia Woody?
Oh my goodness, great question. Who is Celia Woody? Well, first of all, I would say that I am definitely a child of God. I'm gonna put that first. I am a wife, and I am a mother of three beautiful children. Yeah. And I am an overcomer, and I am an inspiration. And I am an entrepreneur.
Yes, I know. You have so many titles to your name.
Yes, ma'am. That's what I would say that I am.
Okay, awesome. So, what do you do right now for motivation and inspiring others?
Man, the biggest thing that I'm doing right now is trying to get the word out about overcoming.
Okay.
That's my biggest thing of like the year right now. My season that I'm in is really spreading the word about overcoming obstacles. Okay. So that's where I'm at right now. Awesome. And then just trying to live your day-to-day life. It's like so many things going on right now in the world that we're all trying to adjust to. Right. And I think the biggest thing that's been in my spirit for the longest is really reaching out to people and helping them understand that in this life, overcoming is something that we're all going to have to get good at.
Right.
We're going to have to get good.
I know, right? I mean, that's definitely something we have to all get good at it one day, right? Yeah. Overcoming and not giving up. Yes, overcoming. Definitely. So what is one of your major challenges you were faced with that could have caused a setback in life, but it didn't? Like you was able to overcome it and achieve a lot of goals through that challenge.
Right. Wow. Well, that's an awesome question. Of course, I can go down this whole long list every day of things that could stop me, but I won't allow them to. Right. But I'm an overcomer. And one of the first things, I've overcome a lot, including, growing up without my birth mother. She died when I was young. And but one of the things that really shaped me into becoming Ms. Inspire, shaped me into being a motivational speaker and sharing my story is how I got diagnosed with cancer and how I overcame that. I believe that that's one of the most fascinating stories. However, it's not the most powerful story, but it is a really, really good story. And it's a good chapter in my life, even though talking about cancer usually is not the best topic of someone's life. Right. But I flipped that thing.
Right.
I would say me overcoming having cancer would have been that challenge that could have took me down, could have sent me down a road of negativity, woe is me, giving up. And it's a thing, I became an amputee after having cancer. So having cancer, that was, I say, one of my biggest things.
Okay. All right. So how did you deal with the matter and how did you overcome it? Like, take us through a short journey of that.
A short journey. Okay, so I would say a short journey of that. Really, one of the things that I like to share is how I was really faced with that decision. That when I got diagnosed with cancer, I was 20 years old, and I was at the prime of my life. I was just starting out. I was trying to start college. I was trying to be very independent. I was working 3 jobs, and I got this diagnosis of this rare form of cancer that formed up in my calf. And it was mostly known to adolescent teenagers, but I was older when I got it. So it was designated just for me. It was designated just for me. Why would I get it?
Right.
I'm telling you, like, and so long story short, yeah, I went through a lot with adjusting to that news, but um, I really had to adjust to the fact that not only do I have cancer, but I have to get my leg amputated on account of it.
Right.
Well, in my mind was just, I'm trying to get through college. I'm trying to do this. I had a list of things. And Tony, you have a list of things that you're trying to achieve.
That's exactly right.
Including, you want to get married, you want to have boys, you want
kids,
to do
right?
Yes, I just got started. And to get a diagnosis of cancer is almost like, I'm not going to have a life. I'm not going to have a life.
Right.
But I was so concentrating on what I wanted so bad. All I could think is, I just want to get past whatever I got to do to get past this.
Right.
And so, cutting through some of the story, I wind up having to go in Atlanta to a children's hospital because it was a adolescent cancer.
Okay.
And in that children's hospital, I was surrounded by a lot of children with cancer. Okay. And some of those children weren't going to make it. And so one of the things for me is I watched those children very closely. And those children, when they were down, they were down. Mm-hmm. But when they were able to be up, they were up playing on their poles. They were up playing with the nurses and the doctors when they could. Mm-hmm. Some of them weren't going to make it. And I was aware of that. I was older, and we all were in the same boat. But I had the privilege to look at how these children coped with their illness. And it was empowering for me that I knew I couldn't sit and feel sorry for myself. They put something, they ignited me, right, with inspiration to fight through. Right. And I thank God for that, because that was a lot of my push. Mm-hmm. In that journey, I experienced a lot of things with feeling alone, feeling like people don't understand. Right. And there was a big change. Of course, depression hits, you deal with things like that. And, but through it all, what I came to realize is that all the fears that I had were being taken care of, and I didn't know it. Mm-hmm. All those fears were being taken care of. And so children, and keeping a positive mindset, having a mind to want to get past whatever it is, I always look for something to look forward to. Something to look forward to. And I keep my eye on that prize, because these negative things, they're just going to come. You have to keep your eye on this prize. Now, when I speak about the journey that I went through, I'll speak as if I already knew. But the truth of the matter is, I didn't learn a lot of the wisdom that came out of the experience until I actually came out of it. Right. And then I realized when I was through it, all the grace and all the people that would be there, all the resources that you can tap into. And now that I've come through it and I've become a better person because of cancer. How do you say that? Right. To me, I pat myself on the back.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? Anybody that's been
awesome.
through cancer and any other life-changing diseases, losses, and things like that, it can be so devastating to you that you cannot get past it. And people will ask themselves, why me? Right. I'm grateful I had the opportunity to be in a place where I can experience something unfortunate, but I had enough grace on me to steer me in the right direction, to look at the right things so that I can be inspiring to myself. Right. When you're in that place, you have to inspire yourself. That's right. Sometimes somebody else can't do it for you. That's right. And I thank God for putting that spirit inside of me to inspire myself to want to see what I need to see to move through those things. So, I mean, it's a lot.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you said something that was really, really hit home when you said, in regards to you stayed in a positive mindset, and how, regardless to what the, condition is, or what the challenge is, health matter that a person's dealing with. There's so many people that, like you said, when they get hit with those type of challenges, they start to kind of go the other way. But the fact of being able to keep a positive mindset and look at it as, hey, yeah, I've been hit with this unfortunate thing, but God is going to get me through this, and to look at it as this is, a lesson, and I can get something out of it. Like, what's the blessing in this whole situation? So you can just get to the other side of that bridge to see the light. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, that is just
Absolutely.
so powerful, and I just
Thank you.
commend you of
Thank
being
you.
able to do that, and like sharing that with other people, and how to be able to, like you said, inspire yourself, because you don't necessarily always have, or depending on, everyone has a different environment around them, have a support system, and so when you don't necessarily have a strong support system, it could become, not such a happy place. So being able to know how to inspire yourself, self-talk yourself, keep yourself up beat when things are not upbeat, I just think is like such a dramatic statement, to others, and can inspire so many people, because like there's so many people in this world that need to know that, regardless to what the condition is, or what's going on. We already know this is mental health month, and like all of that kind of all ties together. You know what I mean? So that kind of goes into the next question I was going to ask you is, did you have a support system?
Absolutely. I definitely had a support system. My family, my family and my closest of friends, um, everyone's going to give you verbal support as much as they can. But again, even when you have a support system, sometimes when you're in the middle of what you're going through, you can still feel lonely.
Yeah.
And I like to stress that because I want to talk to the people who have that support system still feel lonely, because I was there. I had a support system, but I still felt very alone. Y'all don't know, because my situation is my situation. So no matter what they said, I always felt something. But I will say this, that support system, no matter how lonely I felt at the moment, someone being there, it mattered. It didn't matter if you used them to your best disability. Sometimes you don't use people in a manner. They tell me, call on me if you ever need me. Talk to me if you ever want to get something off your chest. You can call. Well, I've heard all that. I've had everybody was there for me, but did I use it? Absolutely not. All the time I was not. But I do like to share this one story that I believe helps people. I was trying to find peace, and it was my support system that helped me find my peace. My support system helped me find my peace. My aunt wouldn't leave my side. She left from where she was at, staying in South Carolina, and she came to my bedside in Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
And she spent time with me when I had gotten my leg amputated, and I'll never forget it. She had really been there for me. And she had said to me before I got my leg amputated, one of this is I love this story. I was trying to find peace. I grew up in the church, and my church family was supporting me, letting me know how good God is, and He is. Yes, He is. He was just as good as they said He is.
Yeah.
And they said, that God can take this away. And I said, I know. Y'all taught me that my whole life. Yes, He can. And I do believe He can take it away.
That's right.
Right. I do believe God can do it. But when I was going through that, I started doubting my faith. Because I don't know, even though I know y'all taught me that God can, but I don't know if He will.
Right. No, that is so real. That's so real. Do you know how many challenges that people go through? And it's like, okay, so I believe in miracles. I know God can do this.
Right.
However, is he going to do it for me?
Is he going to do it for me is the
Right.
question.
Right. Because sometimes our way of how we want it fixed is not necessarily God's way of how he's going to fix it.
Right.
He still will fix it. It just may not be how we have it perceived in our minds.
Right. That's right. That's right. So that's why this is one of my favorite things to talk about, because I believe that it's totally relatable.
Yeah.
And and this is me being very transparent. I didn't know if God would do that for me. I knew that I didn't want to die.
Right.
I didn't want to die. And at this point, death was my fear.
Right.
Not really losing my leg, but death was my fear.
Right.
And so everyone was saying, you don't have to get your leg amputated, prayer and faith. And I'm like, oh, I want to show myself approved.
Right.
I do got faith, but I don't know, and I'm like, I'm sure I got a mustard seed.
Right.
I'm sure I got a mustard seed, But I started doubting myself. And so honestly, it was just like, I called my aunt because she was a minister and she's passed away now. But I called her up because I knew that she would give me sound advice. And I told her, I really just don't know what to do. People are telling me that God can heal and God will. And it's not that I don't believe, Auntie. It's just that I don't know if he will. And right now I can't act like I understand. And she said, well, baby, God will. This is what she told me, and somebody's going to relate to this. She said, God she said, just wait on God. She said, pray and God will show you what to do. God will let you know. Well, baby, when I say that was confusing too, at this time, I couldn't act like I understood what that meant.
Right.
Because this was so real to me that I couldn't sit here and act like I understood for real what God is going to let you know what to do. I didn't really know what that meant at this time because, let's be honest, he doesn't write on walls for you. So what exactly does that mean, Auntie?
Right.
I cannot act like I understand that right now. This is a real situation. So she told me this. She said, God will give you peace with a decision. Man, y'all, when I say God will give you peace, what feels right in your heart? It may not make sense to somebody else. It may not even make sense to you. It may not even make sense to you, but it feels right. The answer feels right. We let that be that. I pondered on that thing, and I prayed on that thing. And what I really had peace with is getting my leg amputated. I felt like if I get this thing cut off, I'm going to be able to walk up out of here and I'll be fine and I'll be cancer free and I'll live and I can move on with the rest of my life. That's really where I had peace. Now, if I'd have kept my leg trying to have some faith and I wasn't sure if my faith was up, I don't know if my faith was enough to get the job done. Right. I don't have peace with that. Right. Yeah. And because my faith is not like that, so maybe it won't happen. So I let that go. And I became okay with the amputation. Right. I went and got that amputation. And when I say I got my amputation and I became a phenomenal woman after that, when I got this prosthetic leg is when I became phenomenal. Because that's when I started testing myself and challenging myself. It was the greatest decision that I could make, and it was a very difficult decision. It was a life-altering decision. In it, I didn't know if my life was going to work out for the better, but it did. Because of that decision is when I started challenging myself to things I would have never done before. And I started seeing things from a new perspective. Right. I was introduced to people that I would have never met. I started learning things that I would have never learned. I started growing in a way that I would have never grown had I not gone through that amputation. Right. I am who I am because of this experience, because I had peace in my heart. When people say to me, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, no, baby. This ain't nothing to be sorry about. Right. This here is a blessing. Right here, this robot leg that I tell the kids is a robot leg. This robot leg is a blessing. You have to know something real and have been through something real to make that happen. Right.
That is so powerful, guys. I mean, I don't even know what to say after that. Like that is just so powerful. And you hit on so many aspects on that.
It's really relatable.
Yeah, it just is. And I'm sure there's a many people that understand and can relate and utilize that information, you know, for to better them.
I
You know what I
hope
mean?
so. I really
Yeah.
hope so.
So, what did you learn from your experience, and what like goals and aspirations, and you learned from your experience?
Um, it was birth. Motivational speaking was birthed from this
Okay.
experience. I've always wanted to help somebody with the things that I've gone through. Even my first thing that ever impacted me was losing my mother. And even back then, I wanted to help other teenagers and kids who may have lost their parents
Right.
back then. But when this thing hit, it really made me. It a lot of people that I went to camp with, and I met people with cancer. They all wanted to go and work in the nursing field, and I never really. I thought that maybe I should want to do nursing because everybody else that had cancer wanted to do nursing.
Right.
You know, be a doctor. It's like, but that wasn't really what I wanted. What I wanted to do was talk about the experience that I was experiencing. I wanted to talk about those kids that I had saw and how they impacted my heart. I wanted to talk about things like that. Um, Another thing is like what I would you say? What did I grow from?
What goals and aspirations and learn?
Yeah, so like now it's like I just really want to continue to get the word out about overcoming obstacles. You know, that's my biggest thing is these obstacles, health issues, financial issues, family matters. Um, it, it really is all uncovered under this thing called obstacles. You know, we're all out here just trying to achieve life,
Right.
whatever it is that you're trying to be better at.
Exactly.
You're trying to be a better you in your parenting, in your career, or just, you know, whatever areas of your life. And these challenges are going to just keep coming up. And even as an amputee and overcoming these things and even having a positive attitude. Now, just because you have a positive attitude about things doesn't mean that you don't feel down. Right. It doesn't mean that you don't feel doubt. Exactly. It doesn't mean that you don't go through. Right. That's not it. Yeah. Those are guaranteed. That's almost guaranteed. You know, so what this has birthed is me to learn that and accept that life has a lot of challenges that come to you, but the challenges are not meant to break you down. They're meant to build you up into who you're going to be, who you're trying to blossom into. You know, when you see a caterpillar, it's not even, you know, done. It's not finished yet. Right. It's crawling around. It looks gross crawling. You know, it looks gross. Yeah. Disgusting. Yeah. You know, but it's either going to blossom into a beautiful butterfly, right, or a moth. All of them don't turn into butterflies, you know. Wow! I'm just trying to say, all caterpillars don't turn. I had some caterpillars, and I thought they were going to turn into butterflies. Yeah. Some of them turn into moths. Okay. Right, but moths are beautiful too. I wish I could fly. Well, I'm just saying. I wish I could fly. Yeah. Wish I could fly. You know. And moths fly, so they're beautiful too. And you just never know, man. We're all just transforming, and it's really about understanding that life is going to happen to you, and it is okay to not be okay sometimes. That's right. It is absolutely okay to be in your feelings. Yeah. The only thing that I like to stress to people is just to be aware and to know in your mind that you have to do the work. And the work is keep on pushing. Right. That's it. Keep on trying to change your perspective on things. Mm-hmm. Whatever your matter is, there's a perspective for that. Yeah. There's a positive perspective for everything that you're going through. Yeah. You teach me that. You teach me that too. And this you. And you are a wonderful friend in that even I, Ms. Inspired, I like to say things that shouldn't be said. I mean, I'm a human and I get in my feelings. Yeah. You have to have your people who you can talk to when you get in your feelings. Yeah, definitely. But you have to have the right people, somebody that's going to remind you to have that right mindset. Mm-hmm. Not somebody that's gonna lead you, let you have your woe party and just let you sit there in your woe.
Right.
I mean, if you need that, find the person that's for you, but you have to have somebody in your corner that's gonna help get you out of that.
Right.
Not somebody that's gonna just pet you while you're in there and just let you stay in there.
Right.
No, even when it hurts, it's good to have somebody that pushes you, even when it hurts.
Yeah.
And just allowing yourself to be open to trying to change what it is that you're feeling. You have to be open and you have to want it.
Yeah.
And that's where the work takes place. It's hard, but it's so possible.
Yeah, definitely.
That's where my growth came from. Yeah. And that thing right there got me through, is getting me through parenting. I started, having babies late. Started in my 30s, so I'm tired.
Late, that's not late, girl. Go ahead.
But compared to having it when I'm all energetic, I'm in my 30s and I'm trying to achieve all these things, and I got these little kids. Everybody else got teenagers now. I have these little ones. So, my mindset is different from when I was in my 20s.
Right, definitely.
So it's a different type of energy now.
Yeah.
And so I definitely have to pull from the pool of inspiration to get through my day to day. It's a real thing. Yeah. It's a real thing. And so many people think that they're by themselves in this. Yeah. It's so sad to me that so many people feel so by themselves. Yeah. Yeah. And I know, because I was there. Right. I was there. Yeah. Yeah. And it's just important that we all relate to one another. Yeah. And just reach out when you can. Try to say something to just help somebody. Right. Yeah.
That's all so good. So powerful. I'm speechless. It's just such good information to just, to share to others, for others to understand, to know, because, especially like even right now, we're still in the middle of a pandemic, even though, things have gotten better. It's just trying times, right? And we need to know different ways, different things that we can do to uplift, inspire ourselves, to be able to continue to push forward, and to realize that regardless to what the challenge is in life, that you just keep moving forward, even when people are knocking you down, or, things are trying to get in your way. Right. To not allow you to achieve. Right. Know that when things like that happen, everyone may not believe in God who's listening, and that's fine, whatever your higher power is, whatever you believe in. But I believe that when things like that happen, that's when the enemy's around, and he's attempting to persuade you that you can't do certain things to make you stop, so you don't achieve your goal. Right. But if you know the Almighty God, the Creator, that He's going to get you to where you have to go. It may not be A, B, C, D. It may be A, Z, B, E, F, G. And you keep going in this zigzag line till you get to where your destination is. Sometimes we detour off things, but God will bring us back where we need to be, as long as we, ask. Right. So the last thing I'm gonna ask you is, so what would you say to others that are experiencing similar situations? What advice would you give to them?
Awesome. I would definitely say to someone who may be going through, someone that's watching, we're all going through something. There's not a human on earth that's not going through something. And just know that you are not alone. Whoever you are not alone. There are so many people out here who can relate. There is so much that each individual person, according to your cell and your blood type, your DNA, your own individuality, has a very unique story that the earth needs. The earth needs to hear your story. And that's my big thing. Just know that you're a part of something bigger than you. And everything that you're going through it for a reason, even when it doesn't seem fair, it doesn't seem right, and you can't even wrap your head around it. You cannot comprehend why you. You were uniquely allowed to be the person to carry whatever it is that you're carrying. And you're given everything that you need to handle it. Everything that you need. Sometimes you just got to take it one day at a time. And if one day at a time seems like just too much, take it 1 hour at a time. Just take it 1 hour at a time. 1 minute at a time. Just 1 minute. One more minute. Sometimes somebody may just need one more minute just to have, and just take your time and know that you're a part of something really, really bigger and that your story matters and that everything that you're going through is a part of your having expertise. You're an expert in the area that you're dealing with. So, one of the most sensitive subjects to me is parents who've lost their children. It's one of the most sensitive subjects to me. And it's hard to, how do you motivate a mother or a father who's lost their child? To me, those are some of the most challenging, most sensitive areas in life. And it's even hard to fix your mouth to say you're going through it for a reason. It's hard to say that. But there's so many people that naturally do have to go through that. And so many people that can help the next one. And I really believe in what I call EOTO, which is each one teach one. Your experiences help me. When you tell me from your expertise, you verbally say something, how you overcame what you overcame. You tell someone that it helped, and you send that along, and you help somebody else just cope for another day. That's why you. That's why you. And that's what I would say to someone listening, someone that may be dealing with challenges, the person who is, that your story is meant to help someone else. Everything that we're dealing with is bigger than us. And you have to try to find the positive perspective. Change your, sometimes inside of your mind, there's this conversation that takes place with a lot of self doubt and a lot of things that we tell ourselves. That's just negativity. I'm just going to call it negativity. But there is something in this world that is bigger than us, and we're a part of it. And we can take a part of it by just sharing the expertise with someone else, just sharing your expertise. And what I'm saying is just talking to someone about how are you getting through what it is that you're getting through? How are you taking it day to day? If you're crying every day, that's fine. It's okay to cry every day. I know you feel weak when you cry. You feel like you ain't strong when you cry. You got to be weak when you cry. But let me give you another perspective about when you cry. Crying is just making room for more strength. You have to endure for the rest of our life. We are enduring. Crying just makes room for more enduring. We have to endure. So we cry. Get it out. That don't make you weak. You don't have to hide the fact that you cried. It makes me feel like I'm a human when I see a person that I thought never cried cry. Makes me feel like, oh, you are a human. Humans cry. We have emotions. So that's my thing. Is never feel like you're by yourself, because you are not. And always know that your story matters. It definitely matters. But you have to tell it. You have to talk about it. Share it.
Wow. That was a powerful message, Celia. I really appreciate you coming on our show today. Thank you so much. That was so powerful, and I am truly blessed just being able to be in your presence and to get a better even understanding on your story and so many people you're going to impact. And I'm just so proud of you. So proud of you. So tell the people where they can find you.
Well, you can find me in Augusta, Georgia. Not
that. You have any social media?
But I am on Facebook. I'm under Celia Woody. I also have Mrs. Woody, Mizis Woody, Woody on Facebook. And I'm also on TikTok as Ms. Inspire, Mizinspyre. And I also have a blog that's being worked on right now. It's actually under construction, but you can check it out. is misinspire.blogspot.com.
Okay, awesome. So if you need Miss Celia Woody to tell her story, as a guest speaker, you can hit her up on any of those sites that, she just gave to you guys. But once again, I just want to thank you so much for coming on our show today and blessing us with your presence today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It's
Yes,
incredible.
thank
Awesome.
you so much. And I will be talking with you soon for another interview in your next aspiration of goals. And
All right.
like she's always doing such beautiful things. And I'm just so proud of you.
Thank you.
But thank you so much, guys, for listening in today to the Fresh Ignite Talk Tips podcast. You can find us at the Apple Podcast, Google Podcast. You can also find us on Spotify as well as Amazon Music. But thank you so much for listening today. Once again, the Fresh Ignite Talk Tips podcast with Dr. Kerr and Celia Woody today. Thank you so much, and you have a great day. Bye-bye.